What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another SCP reaction video where I react to your SCP requests. I'm still pretty new to the whole SCP lore, so I'm actually really interested to see which ones you guys have in mind. I know I've been having a lot of requests recently, so I'm gonna try to hit as many as I can and see what you guys have in mind. This SCP right here, guys, is 973 Smokey, requested by Good old Shadow. I see you, Shadow. There's their comment right there. Who is actually a royalty fox, which we are doing a special members goal right now. If you guys want to check it out, you may actually make me wear a maid's outfit. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and break down this SCP, and if you guys have anything that you want me to react to, let me know down below. It'd be super cool, and if I might have missed something or anything like that, we're gonna hit the animations, and if there's like another version of this that we want to check out, we can do that one after this. But let's go ahead and jump into the video that I have right here. Whoa, look at that. It just appeared on screen. This is great. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and jump into 973. Let's see what it's got here.
A group of friends are driving down the highway late at night. They're on their way home from a concert, and after the long night of dancing and partying, all of them are feeling quite tired. The radio is turned off, and after so much loud music, the silence is refreshing.
Nice.
No one is talking at all, and in fact, the driver notices that both his girlfriend sitting next to him, as well as his friend in the back seat, have fallen asleep.
Heavy sleepers.
The driver tries to make sure that he doesn't do the same as the car moves down the long stretch of straight, empty highway. The driver's eyes start to grow heavy, though.
Oh, man.
He can feel the weight of sleep starting to press on him.
Has ever happened to you where you're like just driving, all of a sudden you're just like asleep? Don't do that. Drive safe, guys, if you're able to drive.
He turns the radio on at a low volume, but that only staves off the drowsiness for a moment. He can't fight the
also eating sunflower seeds. That's what he'll do. Let's go.
Of sleep any longer, and his eyes start to close.
Oh no.
As he drifts off to sleep, his foot presses down slightly more on the accelerator.
No.
The driver's head slumps to the side as the car gains speed and begins to pull to the right of where it crosses the white line.
They don't even recognize
the edge
it.
of the highway.
Man, they're heavy sleepers.
The tires dip off the road into the dirt, and the sudden change causes the driver to jerk back awake. He quickly swerves the car back onto the road. The sudden jolt causes both the passengers to wake up.
Whoa.
Is everything okay? The driver tells them that he just swerved to avoid an animal in the road. That's right, nothing to be worried about. They can go back to sleep. As both of his friends close their eyes and try to go back to sleep, the driver spots something. Lights have appeared in his rearview mirror.
Uh-oh.
It's a pair of headlights. He didn't notice a car pulling out or speeding up behind him, but he must have missed it when he was dozing off. His heart is still racing from when he drifted off the road, and he's trying to regain his composure, but it's about to get a whole lot harder, because when he looks in the mirror again, he sees that the telltale red and blue lights of a police cruiser have lit up behind him.
You done did it now, Travis.
Oh crap, oh no, the driver says out loud. Everyone is awake now and aware of the cop behind them. They grow nervous and start freaking out. Not all of the activities they had partaken in at the concert were, strictly speaking, technically legal in this state.
Uh-oh.
What do we do? The driver asks. You've got to pull over.
Quick, throw it out the window. No.
The cop car's sirens come on. This is serious. But then something strange happens. They hear a voice in the car, coming over the radio. It's too quiet to hear, but when the driver turns up the volume, the message comes through loud and clear. It's a gruff voice that keeps repeating the same phrase over and over. You better run. How is this message coming over the radio? They don't know, but the passenger in the back seat agrees with the voice. They've got to try and run. They have to get out of here.
Run? Oh no.
The driver's girlfriend is screaming to pull over. The cop car speeds up and is right behind them now, almost on their bumper. Its lights flashing and sirens blaring. The driver doesn't know what to do. Should he pull over? Should he try to run?
What would you do in that situation, eh? If the cop is telling you to run, how do you even know it's the cop talking on the radio, eh? What would you do? Just be like, hey, officer, hey, he bet me to a race, so I'm gonna stay on this. You better catch me if you can, gingerbread man.
Everyone is yelling. He starts to push down on the accelerator, but then thinks better of it. There's no way this old car can outrun a cop. Finally, he makes the decision to brake and starts to pull the car to the side of the road.
Uh-oh.
The police car comes to a stop behind them. The sirens are off, but the bright lights are almost blinding. They sit in the car and await their fate. But nothing happens. The car is just sitting there behind them. After what feels like a
Menacingly.
long while, the door of the cop car finally opens. The three passengers watch silently as a highway patrol officer steps out and begins approaching their car. The driver tells everyone to relax, that this is going to be just fine, but the passenger in the back starts to panic. He can't get arrested. If he does, it will mean that he loses his scholarship. He'll get kicked out of school. His whole life will be over. The highway patrol officer reaches the car. Despite it being late at night, he's wearing dark aviator sunglasses that cover half of his face.
He's one of those cool cops you've heard about.
And waits. The driver, feeling nervous and afraid, rolls down his window. The police officer doesn't move or react, though. He just keeps standing next to the car. Good evening, officer, the driver says. No response.
Ooh.
The driver turns and looks at his girlfriend in the front seat, but all she can do is shrug. He turns back to the highway patrolman. Did we do something wrong? There's another long pause, but then the patrolman finally reacts. He bends over and leans in close, sticking his head practically
Smell my breath. I'm just kidding.
through the open window and putting his tight-lipped face right next to the driver's.
What in the world?
Do you want my license and registration? The driver asks. The patrolman doesn't respond. He reaches up and slowly grabs the side of his dark aviator sunglasses. He pulls them down, and the driver finds himself staring into a pair of bright, red, glowing eyes.
What?
Evil eyes. Everyone in the car starts to scream as the thing standing in front of them opens its own mouth to reveal a big, black, gaping hole with no gums or teeth, a horrifying void in its face that screams right back at them. As you may have already deduced, this was no normal traffic stop, and certainly not a normal highway patrol officer. No, the entity that this group of young adults encountered that evening was one that dozens before them had the same misfortune of running into, and one that the SCP Foundation is actively trying to stop from engaging in its frightening and dangerous behavior. This is SCP-973.
Oh.
SCP-973 is not one, but actually two separate entities.
What?
The first, designated SCP-973-1, is a police cruiser that appears to be a model similar to those used by actual state troopers during the early 1970s, and its condition is much like you would expect for a well-used, nearly 50-year-old vehicle, with much of it being in an advanced state of disrepair. Eyewitness accounts of—
What is going on behind? What are you doing, eh? Look at this pillow. It was bugging me. Sorry about that. That pillow had a mind of its own. Okay, where were we at?
of SCP-973-1 have described the police car as having numerous dents on the doors and hood, cracks in the windshield, multiple rust spots, and a rear bumper that looks to be held on with duct tape. The vehicle's driver and sole occupant has been designated SCP-973-2. This humanoid figure has an appearance that resembles a Caucasian male in his late 40s. It is dressed in the state trooper uniform that, like 973-1, also looks to have come from the early 1970s. And eyewitnesses have described him as being slightly overweight, balding, and sporting a handlebar mustache.
Handlebar!
Both the anomalous car and its driver will appear at night in a specific location along a particular U.S. highway. It is unknown exactly what will cause SCP-973 to show up on this road, but Foundation researchers have hypothesized that its manifestation may be triggered when a vehicle accelerates over a certain speed. You may think you're safe, then, if you stay below a certain speed, but unfortunately, you'd be wrong.
Ooh.
It's unknown exactly what speed limit infraction will lead to SCP-973's appearance, with reports ranging from 35 miles per hour all the way to 70. But when it does occur, the driver will find that they are now a target. SCP-973 will materialize roughly half a kilometer behind the targeted vehicle and will approach them at a high rate of speed. SCP-973-1 sirens will turn on and its lights will flash, as it also somehow broadcasts a message into the targeted car that is picked up on the car's radio, a message that urges the driver to run, often accompanied by several expletives. In most cases, the targeted vehicle will abide by the instructions over the radio and begin to flee, though it's unlikely that this is due to any mimetic effect. Rather, it would seem that most run out of pure terror. SCP-973 will then pursue the targeted car, leading to a high-speed chase. No matter how fast the targeted car is, though, the SCP-973-1 police cruiser will always be faster. And it typically takes no more than 6 minutes for them to be overtaken.
Jeez.
SCP-973 seems to have no qualms about ramming into the fleeing car,
Oh, wow.
which likely accounts for the extreme damage present on the patrol car.
Yeah.
While it is unclear exactly what happens once 973 forces the targeted vehicle to stop, either through their own choice or by being rammed off the road, the results are quite disturbing. The vehicle that fled will later be located somewhere near SCP-973's spawning location, usually within roughly 6 kilometers of the road. Whether the vehicles that are found that far from the road drove there in a panic or were somehow transported there by anomalous means isn't clear. What is clear is that the occupants of the cars met a truly grisly fate. Their bodies will show signs of extreme violence and assault, including evisceration, and some have been so badly maimed and mangled that visual identification was impossible.
That's wild, man.
The vehicles themselves are badly damaged, showing signs of impact from another vehicle, and severe burn damage is often present in the interior.
Oy.
So far, over 34 individuals and 19 vehicles have been designated as victims of
That's a
SCP-973,
lot.
though it is likely that the true number is much, much higher. Perhaps most terrifying of all is that some of the victims survived. The Foundation has recovered 5 individuals from sites of SCP-973 attacks, who, in addition to their gruesome physical injuries, also suffer from varying levels of ongoing mental trauma.
Wow.
But why not just destroy the road that SCP-973 appears on, you ask? Well, the Foundation had
highway.
the same idea, and in 1983, the section of highway affected by SCP-973 was demolished in an attempt to stop it from manifesting. This attempt failed, though. All this led to was SCP-973 changing its location, where it immediately began engaging in the same deadly behavior. Numerous attempts have also been made to try and capture both 973-1 and -2. In one such event, several teams of SCP Foundation containment specialists were dispatched to its section of highway with the mission to subdue and contain the anomaly.
Yeah.
After multiple attempts to get SCP-973 to appear by driving down the highway at various speeds, a car carrying several agents was finally successful, and they spotted the flashing red and blue lights of 973-1 behind them as the message telling them to run began playing over the radio.
You better run, sonny!
With no further warnings, the anomalous police car closed in on them, even faster than the agents were expecting, and immediately began ramming into their car. A van filled with additional containment specialists was dispatched to the area to help, and when they reached the area that the GPS tracker on the pursued car led them to, they found that they were too late.
Oof.
SCP-973 had pushed
Oh,
the agent's car far off the road and was ruthlessly tearing their bodies apart. The arriving containment team immediately began firing on 973 in an attempt to save their fellow Foundation agents. The team's weapons appeared to cause some injuries to 973-2, showing that it is perhaps vulnerable to lasting damage, just like the 973-1 vehicle is. In a post-mission interview, one of the agents described SCP-973's new appearance. His eyes were red, and his mouth, it was just a black hole.
That's weird.
No teeth, no tongue, just a hole. No other reports would come from this incident, though, as this agent was the only survivor. SCP-973 killed the other 9 agents and fled the scene. While it is believed that the Foundation team was able to wound the anomalous creature, it was neither contained nor incapacitated in any real sense, and the next report of a 973 incident occurred just 9 days later.
Ooh.
SCP-973's ability to seemingly appear at a new location and the
Just
difficulty it has
spawned
shown
in.
in being contained has gotten it a well-earned Euclid classification.
Ooh.
The roughly 60 kilometers of highway on which it is known to appear is under satellite surveillance at all times, and all traffic between 10 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. is diverted along a non-highway detour route, by force if necessary.
Wow.
Unfortunately for the SCP Foundation and the general highway-using populace, these security protocols have necessitated frequent updates. Because while the area that SCP-973 engages in its predatory behavior on is well known, both the time of day during which it will appear and the area it seems to affect are expanding. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-745, the headlights, for another anomaly that will make you question whether you should ever drive again at night.
Hey, yo.
And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives.
Hey, yo. You better run, sonny. That's right. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure you do subscribe and smash the like button for more. Super nice, super nice. This one was crazy. Like, just to know that there's other, like, SCPs that like in a form that looks harmless, like a police officer or something, you know, just trying to stop you on the road, and it turns out it's way worse than that. That's this crazy part about it. Really good SCP. If you guys have any more suggestions down below, like, yeah, comment about down below. I wonder if there'd be a game like this too, where you're just kind of running from them or something, try to put some obstacles in the way or something like that, so it tries to stop you and all that. It'd be cool, man. Let me know for some other games that you guys want to see for SCP. I know there's a couple out right now, even a multiplayer one. I think it's out right now. But if you guys want me to do that, let me know. And also, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down below as well. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. If you check out this video up here, this will continue on the journey. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Mr. Smiley. Remember to keep it on the bright side, guys. Keep smiling to the end, and we'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see ya.